Okay, part two about trust and the fight or flight response, and kind of where I'm at in my journey, where I've discovered a clinician that just is not going to be part of my team if I can help prevent it. Um, I've been having a great interaction with a clerical person at Dr. Green's office who has been extremely supportive. Every question I have, calls back, responds to, lets me know when she doesn't know, and just extremely helpful. And so part of that was to know that on my pre-op appointment, which happened this last Thursday, that in fact I would be getting the instructions for post-operative care, which was really important to me because I wanted to have a plan with my physical therapist what I would be doing right afterwards. I didn't want to be unsure and then possibly facing pain and a lot of other complications. I wanted to be really confident going in to the surgery so that coming out I knew the activities and had practiced what I needed to do as far as weight bearing on that side. There's some limits to weight bearing, etc. So came into the appointment and had my list of questions, which I always bring with me to the doctor appointments because it helps me remember everything that I'm wanting to ask. And I knew this pre-op appointment, I had already been cleared by my primary care doctor, also fantastic Dr. Redmond. Could not speak well enough about him. So I had been cleared for the surgery. The PA was going to just be seeing me in Dr. Green's office for the to determine, whatever he needed to and getting me ready for surgery from their perspective. And so I went into that appointment and he had, he wanted to go over pain medicines. And I said to him, well, my understanding is that I won't necessarily need pain medicines. I'd rather not have them. He goes, well, 95% of people need them, or perhaps even more. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll take the prescription for the pain meds, knowing that a lot of the opioids make it so that your gut just stops working and you get really constipated. And I just don't like a lot of the symptoms with nausea that I get. So really didn't want to have those medicines on board, but thought, well, I don't want to be desperate in pain either. So thought, okay, I'll take the prescription for that. And then he added onto it an anti-nausea medicine, given the fact that I have in the past had a lot of nausea whenever I've taken anything with an opiate in it. So made an agreement on that, and then determined if I would have crutches or a walker, and got a prescription for that. And then he said, okay, I'm ready for your questions. And so I was asking him my questions, and really in particular wanted to know about post-op instructions. And I said, well, I was told I was going to get them at this appointment. He goes, you'll get them after the surgery. And I said, well, that's not the best time to give them to me because I'll be half groggy from the surgery. I'm not likely to remember anything. He goes, well, call the surgery center in advance and see what they have to say and see if they'll fax you a copy. And I thought, okay, I guess I can do that. I said, there's nothing you can tell me with regards to range of motion, how much rotation I can do or flexion I can do. And no. So I'm getting frustrated. My husband's with me at the appointment, and he's like, Maureen, just, let it be, and, go with what he's given you for instructions. You're going to mostly be resting. So, really unable to get anything from him. So I come home from this appointment just really frustrated, feeling unheard by this PA who basically gave me information that lightly contradicted what I had known up to this point. Oh, I forgot to mention, when I signed the consent, he also had me signing the consent for the surgery. In there was the words labral repair. And I said, and as he's describing it to me, he also used the word debridement. I said, well, I know because I've read the white papers on this, the research on this, said that I want to have labral anchoring and not debridement. And so he goes, well, whatever, it could be, depending on what they find, they have to do whatever they can. And so was rather cavalier about using the word debridement. And I just was really wanting to emphasize that I wanted to have anchoring and not debridement. And he just kept wanting to include all the words and just, well, whatever they find, very unwilling to reassure me that anchoring would be the first and primary choice for the labrum. So just left that appointment just unhappy and feeling really disconnected with this individual. And then when I came home, I'm looking at the packet that he had given me which included, my prescription for medicines and my copy of my consent and what is this? Oh, my post-op appointment. And then an advertisement about one of the surgeons in their office, which wasn't the one I'm seeing. And lo and behold, what's behind this? My post-op instructions. I'm like, this guy had the post-op instructions just like the clerical person said he would have. And yet he gave me a whole line of information saying they weren't available until after the surgery or from the surgery center. Oh, talk about no trust in him. Don't want to see him again. This is an emotional reaction to that. If he would have said, I don't know about the post-op instructions. Somebody said you'd get them here. Let me check on that. Any version of that would have worked with me. But somebody who's making up stuff and says, oh, you'll get the post-op instructions at the surgery center. My trust is gone in that individual. I don't want to see him again. I feel like he's toxic to my journey. So that's my reflection. Anyway, overall, about the surgery so far, I have mixed reviews from the insurance company whether or not I'm actually approved for this surgery, so that still lingers. Not really happy with insurance companies and their delays in approval or their early denials and then, having to resubmit. But that does seem to be part of the process, so stay tuned on that one. One person is telling me I am approved for the surgery. The other is saying we'll hear the final on that on the 24th, 2 days before I'm supposed to go to surgery, and I have everything set up for this. So hopefully I hear good news that the approval is real and I do go forward with the surgery. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your comments and support of me. Please feel free to leave comments below. I know that many other people are facing healthcare too, and if I can be of help, I sure would like to be. That's why I'm sharing my journey. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.